All right, I got to talk about something today. Forgive me for just skipping over the intro. I just seen a video from Nika Harper about diversity in video games. And I don't want to really slam Nika Harper because I've always liked her. I liked her going all the way back to when she did the whole League of Legends thing, the Nika Soar stuff that she used to do. And I love her style. But seeing this video, it just gave me a headache. I'm going to link it for you guys to watch in the description. Take a moment to go and watch it. If you don't want to take a moment, I will summarize a little bit to the best of my ability of what she was saying. Essentially, she was saying that diversity is not a light switch. It doesn't happen overnight. You don't just boom and then everybody's diverse. It's more like a dial. You have to dial it in slowly, and people will slowly accept it. Kind of like the boiling a frog analogy. If you throw a frog into a hot pan of water, it's just going to hop right out. But if you put it in cool water and turn on the heat and gradually cook the frog, it'll stay there. I don't know if it's the truth, but it's an analogy that people use. That's pretty much what I got from it. If you introduce diversity and shit that people don't really want or care about slowly, you can slowly start to do what you want to do. And it kind of reminds me of what the government is doing over time. And I hate to get political, but the way that they take away rights, slowly over time until everything is stripped away and we no longer stand for what we used to as a nation. That is something that is happening in this country in case you failed to recognize it. But anyways, I digress. But it seems to me like she's trying to tell people that if you want diversity and all of these things in games that people really don't care about right now, you have to slowly introduce it or they're going to pull away. They're just going to pull away. And that sounds very manipulative to me. I'm sorry, but it does. Now, I don't think that most gamers really care about diversity. This whole diversity thing, it really started with the whole Anita Sarkeesian feminist frequency bullshit. That's really what kicked everything off. Another person who just was looking at things that weren't even there and trying to come to conclusions that nobody else came to. Poor research. She got paid thousands of dollars to make this series, if you will, and she's looking at things that literally nobody cares about. She had one segment where she was going around as a hitman killing the strippers and dragging their bodies around, saying, "Oh, look how terrible this is. You can kill these strippers and drag them around." Right, but that's not the point of the game. The game actually penalizes you for killing strippers. It penalizes you for killing civilians. You're supposed to sneak past that shit. The fact that you can do it is not the point. That's not the point. The point is that you're supposed to avoid doing that. You have the freedom as a player to do that if you choose to. And that's what she chose to focus on. She cherry-picked everything in that series to make everything look sexist. When I played Super Mario Brothers way back in like 1985 as a kid, I wasn't thinking how sexist it is to have a princess that has to be rescued by Mario. Yet that's exactly what she did in her series. She's looking at all of these things that nobody gave a shit about. So if any of you out there were wondering where this over-examination of everything in video gaming has come from, that's where it comes from. That's exactly where it comes from. And now all of a sudden this is a thing. This is a thing. I don't know about you guys, but I don't sit there with a checklist checking off things that are in games. Do we have a powerful female character? Yes, we do. She's strong and independent. Do we have a black character? Yes, we do. Do we have a gay character? Yes, we have a gay character. Who does that? Who sits in front of a game and has a checklist for diversity? Who does that shit? Who has ever cared about that before the feminist frequency bullshit happened? Nobody cared. And now all of a sudden we've got all these people with their fancy buzzwords overthinking every little aspect of gaming. What happened to just playing games and having fun? At the risk of sounding sexist, and this is probably going to piss someone off, someone's going to be triggered by this statement, but I don't give a fuck. I'm going there anyway. Do women always overthink things? Is this a predominantly feminine feature? Is this just something that women do? Because I've never seen a man act like this. Seriously, guys, if I go to the store with my mother who's in her 60s or my wife, it's always a nightmare. It's a nightmare about every little detail, where we're going to park, where we're going to go, what we're going to do first. I go into the store, I get what I need, I leave. I have literally stood in front of instant potatoes with my wife, trying to decide which one we want for 10 minutes. Until finally I just snap and say, we're getting the fucking butter garlic ones, let's go. I mean, it's funny, you know, and I hope nobody thinks that I'm sexist, because I am not, guys. I'm not like that. These are just features that I have noticed that are predominantly feminine. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the differences between us. And another thing that I've noticed is a lot of these, the more feminist types, I'm not trying to say that Nika Harper is a feminist, but just feminists in general, they want to blur the lines between male and female. They don't really want any distinguishable patterns there. And I don't understand that. They just seem to want to go against the very nature of our species. It's something that just completely perplexes me and has me scratching my head. Why? Why? We have these differences for a reason. And I apologize for seemingly going off topic here, but you have to understand these things to understand why we have a society right now that is absolutely obsessed with diversity and checking all of the boxes and not offending anyone, not triggering anyone. I'm tired of this. I am really tired of this. And I've seen it creeping into movies a while ago, and I've seen it just kind of creeping into society as a whole. But then when it started making its way into my video games, that's when I kind of got upset. Okay? This is an area that it was just kind of my escape from all of that shit. And now it's not just about having fun anymore. They've made it into this mess where all of these developers are worried about offending people. I mean, look at the shit that happened with Overwatch and Tracer's butt offending people. I mean, talk about overthinking. That's somebody who has nothing better to do with their life but look at something and say, oh, that offends me because she's got a nice ass and I happen to have a huge one. I can tell you that's probably where that stemmed from. Somebody did not like the fact that they don't look like that. It's not realistic. That's not how I look in the real world. It makes me uncomfortable. It has to go away. Bullshit. These people, they behave like thugs. They try to intimidate to get their way. They intimidate developers. They intimidate journalists. They're out here just throwing a fit over everything. And you know what? People are caving into their demands. Every time a feminist complains about something that triggers them, I'll be damned if it doesn't get changed, because it does. It does get changed. We just had a girl that went to a cosplay not that long ago, and somebody was offended by her. I think she was dressed as Cammy from Street Fighter. Somebody was offended by the way she looked. She had to cover herself up or leave. And this is a person who went to this event and probably didn't even have a change of clothes. Alpha Omega Sin talked about this, by the way. Kudos to that video. Very good video. But it's just, it enrages me that people want to impose their values and their bullshit on other people. Video games do not have to be diverse to make you comfortable. If they happen to be diverse, that's fine. If that's what the developers wanted to do from a creative standpoint, that's fine. But don't stifle their creativity in order to make yourself comfortable. It's complete and utter bullshit. And this nonsense of overthinking every single thing. Can we get back to basics here, folks? Can we just talk about games, how fun they are, the story, and forget about all of this nonsense on the side? Right now, I want to kick it over to you guys. What did you think of this video? Let me know all of your opinions down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to rate it thumbs up. And please get out there and share this video. If you believe like I believe that we need to get back to basics, let people know by sharing this video on social media. I thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.